Hi, so what you're looking at here is the throat of a child with herpangina. It's caused by the Coxsackie virus and it's common in the summer months, so watch out for it. Typically affects the younger kids, so 3 to 10, and it presents with these blisters in the back of the throat, which causes severe pain with swallowing, a lot of drooling, and it can also cause high fever. And the main thing to worry about in these cases is the tendency to get dehydrated because these children, have a very poor appetite and are not drinking as much. So that's the main thing we need to focus on because sometimes this can cause them to be hospitalized. How do we make the diagnosis? It's a clinical diagnosis just by looking at the throat. This is the classic finding. And so treatment would be supportive with just Tylenol, Motrin for fever, but mainly again focus on the hydration to keep them well hydrated. And your doctor would be able to evaluate if your child is getting dehydrated or not. But that in a nutshell is herpangina, and it's caused by Coxsackie virus. I hope that helps.
Herpangina is a febrile disorder caused by enterovirus, particularly group A Coxsackie virus. Infection causes vesicular and ulcerative lesion of the posterior oropharyngeal mucosa. Herpangina was first recognized in the 1920s, but the exact etiology was not described until almost 30 years later. The febrile enanthem of herpangina is caused by multiple enteroviruses, but the most commonly implicated etiological agents include Coxsackie B virus, Coxsackie A16, and enterovirus 71 serotypes. Other agents mentioned by virus sources include ecovirus, adenovirus, parechovirus, and herpes simplex virus. Enteroviruses are small, non-enveloped, single positives RNA virus. They are capable of surviving in a wide pH range and retain infectivity in temperature up to 50 degrees Celsius. These characteristics make them capable of surviving in the environment for relatively extended periods. Humans are the only natural hosts of the virus. When we came to symptoms, herpangina is characterized by sudden onset of fever with sore throat, headache, anorexia, and frequently neck pain. Infants may have drooling or vomiting. Within 2 days after onset, up to 21 to 2 millimeter diameter grayish papules develop and become vesicles with erythematous areola. They occur most frequently on the tonsillar pillars, but also on the soft palate, tonsil, uvule, or tongue. During the next 24 hours, the lesion becomes shallow ulcer, seldom greater than 5 millimeter in diameter, and heal in 1 to 7 days. Difficult swallowing, drooling, and the refusal of foods by mouth can lead to dehydration, but complications of herpangina are unusual. Lasting immunity to the infecting strains follows, but repeated episodes caused by other enteroviruses are possible. Herpangina most frequently occurs in the pediatric population in patients younger than 10 years of age. Children are often infected via exposure at child care centers or school. Adolescents and adults are less frequently affected. Newborns, immunocompromised, and pregnant patients can develop more severe disease. Neither gender is more commonly infected. Cases of herpangina have been reported worldwide, and the most recent fatal outbreak was in Japan in 2007. In tropical climates, this disease usually occurs during the rainy season. The diagnosis of herpangina is usually made clinically. It is based on symptoms and the characteristic oral lesion. Recurrent aphthous ulcer may appear similar, but unlike the herpangina, rarely occur on the pharynx and are not typically accompanied by systemic symptoms. Herpetic stomatitis occurs sporadically and causes larger, more persistent, and more numerous ulcers, more commonly in the anterior oropharynx than herpangina. Coxsackie virus 18 causes lymphonodular pharyngitis, which is similar except that the papules become 2 to 3 millimeter whitish to yellowish nodules instead of vesicles and ulcers. In mild cases, no imaging or laboratory testing is required. Laboratory studies are usually obtained to gain additional information about complications, such as dehydration, or to rule out alternative diagnosis. The white blood cell is usually within normal range, although lymphocytosis may be seen in some situations. Confirmatory testing is usually required only in complicated disease for the collection of epidemiological data during epidemics, or to differentiate Terpangina from more serious diseases such as eczema herpeticum. Isolation of the enterovirus in cell culture is a gold standard for confirming testing, which can often take longer than a week to obtain results. When we came to treatment, Herpangina is a self-limited illness, and the treatment is primarily supportive. The management can be described as general treatment, symptomatic treatment, and antiviral treatment. Patients should be isolated in well-aerated and clean rooms to prevent cross-infection. The general management includes healthy diet and adequate hydration. The patient diet should be comprised of light, liquid, or semi-liquid foods with adequate calories, and they should avoid hot, spicy, or irritating foods. Emphasis should be placed on oral care, and it's recommended that patients rinse their mouths with normal saline after meals. Younger children can have their mouths wiped with normal saline. If saline is not available, salted water can be considered. Oral hydration is very important, and for children with high-grade fever and feeding difficulty, proper hydration with electrolyte solution is recommended. The patient should be monitored closely while on treatment. The other is symptomatic management. High-grade fever is the most common symptom reported by Herpangina. It can exceed greater than 38.5, so antipyretics such as ibuprofen or acetaminophen can be considered. The dosage, timing, and duration depend on patient age and the symptoms, and are administered according to the physician recommendation. Several physical cooling options can be considered, including cool compress of the forehead, fever cooling patch, and sleeping with ice pack under the head. Adequate hydration should be ensured while treating with these drugs. The other is antiviral. No specific antiviral drugs are currently available for treatment of Herpangina. So, antiviral management is not recommended to treat Herpangina. Herpangina is generally a mild and self-limited disease. If appropriate care measures, patient isolation, and adequate food intake and hydration are maintained, the disease resolves in less than 10 days. Symptomatic treatment for the patient's fever and oral lesion, and close observation for the development of febrile seizure in young children with high-grade fever also improves the prognosis of the disease. Patients who develop serious neurologic complications have a variable course, and the prognosis is poor in certain situations. These patients should be monitored closely for the development of complications, including flaccid paralysis, meningitis, or encephalitis, and myocarditis. Thank you for watching.